Hi, my name's Alyssa. This is my son Huey and my daughter Zoe. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all 5 absolutely shockingly terrible things about the carnivore way of eating. But first, in case you're wondering where I got this awesome Meat-tastic t-shirt, I want to let you know that you can find this shirt among others in my Unity's spring store. I'll put a link to the store in the description box of this video, and you can also find a link in my Instagram bio. Without further ado, let me get into telling you all of the nasty, terrible details about the carnivore way of eating. Number 1 is the hair growth. While on the bright side, carnivore has allowed me to grow my hair thicker and longer, grow back hair that had been falling out before. It doesn't just stop at the head. I am now hairy everywhere. Okay, so I find myself having to make extra trips to the waxing salon. Also, before carnivore, I didn't really grow hair on my legs. Now I grow a lot more hair on my legs and I'm shaving a lot more often. It's been slightly unpleasant, but I guess with the extra hair on my head, there comes extra hair everywhere. Number 2, I can smell everything. Especially, I smell people's breath. They don't have to be that close, but I can smell your breath, whether it's good or bad. I smell your breath, especially if someone had some garlic, some onion for lunch. I know all about it. Also, I smell like just being out in the city or just out around businesses, restaurants that use a lot of seed oils in their cooking. It's like a very sickly smell to me when they've got their frying oil going. I remember that used to be something that was like mouth-watering, tantalizing, made me want to go in for some French fries or some fried chicken. Now that those seed oils that are bubbling away in those establishments make me almost sick to my stomach. Number 3 is the extra cleanup. So when you're cooking meat all the time, it has a tendency to generate a lot of mess. There's a lot of grease flying around, especially like on my stove top. It gets very greasy very fast. I don't need to fry much bacon or burgers to get a big mess going. Also, grease stains on my shirt. Like, it's the saddest thing. It doesn't just happen to me, it happens to my husband too. Like, it's hard for him to find the shirt that doesn't have a little grease circle on it. So if anybody has any tips about how to get those out without some caustic chemicals, please let me know, because it's an issue. Number 4 is extra food costs. So I used to be vegan and vegetarian for a time, and in those days, the staple food for me was like lentils, beans. These were dried and, you know, shelf stable, and they were very cheap, so our food costs were very low. Also, what came along with those low food costs was a very high cost on my health. I was the most unhealthy I've ever been in my life, the most unhealthy I ever thought I could be. So carnivore for me definitely is more expensive than any other way I've ever eaten. There are cheaper ways to do carnivore. Like, I actually did do a budget carnivore experiment, but I found myself eating a lot of chicken and I don't feel great on chicken. So yeah, I'm spending a lot more money on food, but it's a price I'm willing to pay, my husband's willing to pay, that we're happy to pay because of the improvements that not only me, but my entire family has seen in our health. Right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
The last negative aspect of carnivore, number 5, is that social gatherings can be kind of awkward for a number of reasons. So the first thing is people tend to think it's really weird and possibly very unhealthy when they find out that I only eat meat, that is what my diet consists of. And so I can usually spend some time at a social gathering explaining the carnivore way of eating, explaining benefits. It's not all bad, because I do feel like I'm planting a seed for, you know, unhealthy or less healthy friends and family members who could actually benefit from this way of eating. So, you know, I don't try to shove it down their throat, but it does open that conversation and get them thinking about how eating more meat or only meat could help their health. Also, it's awkward when I run into someone at a social gathering who's like, yeah, I'm plant-based now, I'm trying that out, because I can't be happy for them. I kind of always have the response of like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Because I've been there, I've suffered that, and obviously I don't want to be like, oh, well, that's the worst way you could possibly eat, but I have to keep in my mind, you know, everyone has their journey, and they'll probably stumble upon the truth eventually the same way I did. Also, at social gatherings, I tend to be the one eating all of the meat. Like this past week, we celebrated my mother-in-law's 50th birthday, and I actually made the proteins so I wouldn't feel bad about like hoarding all the meat on my plate. But we had 4 racks of lamb, and we had like, I think 3 or 4 pounds of chicken thighs, and it was so delicious. But everybody else, you know, has like this dainty portion of meat on their plate, and here I am with like 10 lamb chops and 5 chicken thighs, and I'm just chowing down. So I can definitely feel kind of guilty when I'm going somewhere and I didn't bring any meat and I'm eating a whole bunch, but it's not so bad if you make it yourself.
She's healthy too.
Alright, and that just about sums it up. I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. That's 5 negatives about the carnivore diet. And you know what, it's negative, but it could be a whole lot worse. I could still have high blood pressure, I could still have chest pains, I could still have bulging, painful varicose veins and stinging pee every single month from chronic UTIs, and I don't. Thanks to meat. Meat heals, praise the Lord. And all negative things considered, carnivore is the best, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!